Hello everyone, this is Homer3567. Today's Thanksgiving. So I'm recording this and putting this up. You guys a fan of turkey? You guys having turkey tonight? You guys not having turkey tonight? That's fine too. Don't celebrate, you guys want a turkey anyway? I mean, I'm just saying, you guys want a turkey? Because I got a big one for you. Even if you can't eat turkey, because your religion can't eat it because you're a vegetarian or whatever, you guys want a turkey you can enjoy? Because this is one for you. That's right, it's a Thanksgiving Day special. I'm going to go over one of my other two games I never covered as a walkthrough that I did originally send someone to do, but they never did. But I'll do it in their stead, and I'm going to probably bring in a lot of stuff that, well... this is gonna be painful. For all of us. But it's going to be fun. Yes, I'm actually bringing Digi Card Prism Vikings up for a run. I still have it. Before we begin though, I do want to go over a little bit. I will go over things in this game. I'll go over things that I don't like that I want to redo if I ever get a chance to restore this. I'm going to go over things I've learned since then and things that I fixed. What's to say, this is a $400 bomb. You thought Jackie Gleason thing went bad? Oh, this is bad too. Oof. I just watched during the picture, in case you don't know what I was referencing. Yeah, that show had one episode and then he apologized. That's how bad. This is in some ways almost comparable to it. You see I did get a little better. Well, you will see. It's one of the reasons I wanted to do this game. This year. And it's rather recent. As you know, Tommy Oliver's voice, his actor, not just voice, the actual actor who played him on Power Rangers, Stephen David Frank, has gone away from suicide. He's left us. And while Power Rangers was a big inspiration in my life, and well, because I can't play the Sega game because I am complete rubbish at it, again, most people are rubbish at it, I figured instead I played through the love letter that I created. Before I actually start the video, I do have the image up for it right now, I hope. Please make sure you have it up, me. This is one of my prouder images I made. Actually getting this to work. The title card, well, the title for this thing was one of my favorite things I did about this, how it came out. Is it perfect? No. I mean, I can see Fred's going through the end, I can see S's and... Well, Dean's name had to fit like that. I could have probably flipped it upside down, well, the other way, but... I do like how it came out. You know it's not perfect. The card is actually just a playing card. I grabbed one of the cards I used for The Price is Right versus a long time ago and took a photo of that. Alright, can you start the video? Because I do want to go into the credits. Yes, it's me that's doing it, so I get to do it. You see this was made in 2018 for the Indie Game Making Contest. You see that I was involved in it. I almost did this for a whole month. D-Bomb did his stuff. Drew got the idea and testing. Yeah, it's scripts by Yanfly for most of it. Some random dude had a couple. I'll go over his stuff later. Artwork. We actually had people do some artwork for this one. We actually had money for it. That's where the $400 went. And we had other stuff too. This is so old, you can see that Kadokawa is still, they got an Enterbrain still listed. Yeah. And Bittersweet Entertainment, yeah, Bittersweet, they copyright, the guy, the pack that's from, copyrighted this, that's why there's no music. You can see that there's a lot of inspiration from Super Sentai, Aikatsu, Magic X, well, Girls X Hero series, and a lot of other things. Plus, I gotta give special mention to Shadow Factory because they have Tokusatsu now. Back then, they were just doing it on Shadow Factory, and there's a lot of Sentai they were showing, so I was using that for reference too. Like I said, I turned the BGM up, or this will be copyright claimed to no end. Because you know you can use it for games, even if you put copyright, they'll still copyright strike you. Or copyright claim you. It's just the explanation that this is going to be episode 6. It just gives a little bit of backstory. Probably if you want to read, I do want to mention that I did use the Old Norse, so that's why it's Frigg instead of Freyja. Which does create little things. If I ever recreate this, I'm going to change that name definitely. I want you to notice that the enemies is called Loki. You'll see why soon. Over here, if you know mythology, you know where this would have gone if this would have been full. Something very important about Volverk. Like this is like the characters are based off North. I need more coffee. Norse mythology. That's why. Now, there's two characters I want to point out. The first one was Frankie John. Jason David Frank. And you can probably guess the other one. But also, Rory Lango. Lango was my running coach in high school. So by giving him his last name and him being the golfer, it's kind of a shout out to him in a way. But to make it... But, yeah. Austin St. John, by the way. Jason David Frank. Austin St. John, Frankie John. You see, it was an in-joke in there. And kind of a shout out and a nod to them. And by the way, I made these cards to give you a bit of info about them, like their base stats, their age, what their likes are. It was, you know. I made cards for every single character for use in this, and they all show up at least once. To give the card game aspect a little, you know, feeling. It includes also minor characters and the monsters. Well, yeah, it does include the monsters. Of course, we clipped the back end of their age because you don't want to know their actual ages, so that's why we did it. I will go over a little bit more as we go. I'm just letting this run as I go because I got a lot to talk about and, well, I got notes to take. The music I originally used here did have a nice feeling of it. And yes, episode 6, A Mid-Titania Night's Dream. I wonder what that could be a reference to. I will take over on reading them. Titania, how was dance? Okay, same old, really. Hey, you could join. I could use a dance partner. Pass, just think, it'd be like if I had to take archery lessons with me. Well, yeah, I launched an arrow into the school pool. Wait for it. Well, actually, some freshmen. Did Titania join archery? No, she'd kill us all. She never fired an arrow before. I see. I heard otherwise. Cue arrow. Don't tell me. I kicked off on my return and heard it splash behind me. And here comes the dance teacher. Hey, Titania. Yes, ma'am, Buckland? Miss Buckland is the teacher, and, well, you know, Miss Appleby. Could you come help me tomorrow? I got a few little ones coming in to start. I really want my team to do pep talk. Yes, ma'am, I'd be happy to. They're just, the scripts that say inject, replicate, replaces their slogan. This is what they do because, well, you know, virus, code, stupid Vikings. Why have we not been able to intercept them? Well, you see... No, they've had 5 failures by this point. Shut up. Whee! Like 10,000 of them going wheel at once. Okay. You got told to shut up. That was a general shut up! As in both of you! Yeah, think Zed. We didn't stop them at all costs, but how? Ah, the school cameras, always a jewel. He's spying on their conversation. If I could infect the teacher, I could replicate our code to the kids. Brilliant! One more word, I'm giving you the antivirus bath you love so much. And they run. So, Trojan? I got one! Have you noticed that the enemies are based on code? As in malware code. Malware, yeah, it's kind of a joke, come on. You can see a theming here. I'm all code. Instead of all ears. You see the boss of this is Surcam, if you know the Surcam virus. Yes, I had a bunch of viruses lined up that I knew of that I was gonna replicate for this game. Yeah, funny, right? That is amazing. Yeah, I remember when I got to be a motivational speaker. I do too. You smashed Principal Tiang's car window with your Go For Your Dreams 4-iron slice. Okay, I didn't count for the win. Blame a guy for trying, why don't ya? Come on down to Big Pig Lunch Buffet. Now Terra's new on the meat bone rib. It's good, y'all! Yes, that's a Danganronpa reference. That sounds good. I could use some protein. Athletes? Protein? Kind of, you know, sounds unhealthy. Yeah, a little bit. So does Land W, but you two love the nugs. Nugs and hugs, definitely. Land meals are once a month cheat day. Running joke. Last week I saw you there twice. Call out. Birthday exception for my little brother. Your bro's birthday's in 2 months. Early birthday dinner. You keep telling yourself that, Dean. Come on, let's get nugs. Yes, you have the keyboard. Well, not you at the keyboard right now. I got something to tell you. As you're playing this, my prototype with Red Yellow's 10. It's sort of my estimate, you know, this is all game stuff, basically. I'm basically telling you have 45 AP you can spend on your skills. I gave you a card, some cards that you can actually use. This would have been building up by now, so quick description on how things work. I will go over it in full. The car accident that was mentioned by Rory. That gets done in his story. That would have been done in his story. In his first chapter, where he first appears to be front and center. Each chapter had a certain character being the front and center. This is Titania's chapter. Well, Titania. This is her chapter. This is where she's in front, it's her story developing. She's gonna get a skill in this chapter that's gonna help, that's important to her. The 7th chapter would have been Dean. And you know, it'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's the whole thing. 7 heroes, Prism goes 7, you know, 7 colors. That's part of the, you know, funny with that. This is part of the planning of it, alright? But yeah, Frankie Johns is like the base character, you know, the base martial artist that's the main hero and the leader. You got Scotty, which is the orange one, which is actually the archer. She's got her... She likes being, you know... kind of corral the boys, in a way. Calman has his quirks. I don't remember offhand what they are. It was in the beginning. Rory is a golf prodigy, that for sure. And while in his episode, like I said, when he was doing it, he had a problem where he ended up getting a little better. He doesn't have a good life. You will find in a later chapter, but if the game ever gets made, you would. But yeah, Rory's there just basically not just comic relief, but he's also got his moments where he's, you know, getting up there. You got Fred, which is the actual swimmer. He's actually got, you know, he's got prodigy skill there too. Those who know what protein does for athletes, you know. Athletes, fuel, they need a lot of protein before like competitions and stuff. Titania's the classic, like Kimberly. She's the girly girl of the bunch. She's got ballet, which is like Cat. Because I know that's what I know most for, and that's why I went with her being that class again. Plus, it gives me ways to put her mom in the story. It gives me Miss Buckland not only teaching the high school, but also, well, yeah, she does. It is the high school, but she also teaches the class, the ballet studio, a little bit too. In fact, Miss Buckland was taught by Tatiana's mother. So in a way, it's going down the line. Tatiana's mother is the second generation. Her grandmother's first generation. That's why she's a third generation ballerina. And that's why it's like passed down the skill. Dean is just a smart guy like Billy would be. Which, when you get a hold of him and start using him correctly, you can weaponize him. What I'm doing is I'm attaching cards. I put just a few base ones right in there, like elements, skills, and everything. But you can see, now I put this so it will give you some good cards no matter what. The good cards might not have been coming yet. If you were doing if I ever made the official game, because I'd make it so it'd be a little bit more balanced. But you can tell that this is just supposed to be a prototype, a vertical slice. That's why I went Chapter 6 and just gave you cards which you might be lucky enough to have on a decent run to give you a fair shot. Especially because the game only had an hour to be judged. So if you're quick enough to do this, put good cards on your team, you can get through. Now, I highly suggest putting it on Frankie John. His attack is basically going to be the one that matters. But if you get a lot of good high attack cards and a lot of good magic cards in the random deal, you can break through. Also, don't forget to allocate your points. I'll show you how to do that. But you can see I had parameters, everything. I mean, I was using a lot of scripts for this one. You got the elements here. I did make it so you can see that offense and defense. You see states, I would put things in for that. Attributes, you can see hit rate, I was going to put things in for that, but like I said, I ran out of time. I put a profile and Viking. And notice for Frankie John, I put a little spoiler notice. You notice there's one character that would be the obvious leader, but he's not leader. I only wonder why I didn't do that. And if you notice the sarcasm, you notice I'm doing it for a reason. Now, I'm pumping up attack and luck on Frankie John because, well, actually telling me it's no bad build. You know what you're doing? I like doing this when I need a quick bruiser. Frankie John's got a lot of health, a lot of attack, a lot of luck. Criticals, damage, and damage criticals. Plus, I know you can't defend against poison because I didn't put a card in to do status defense because I ran out of time. And names, because I was looking through names, seeing what I could put in. Like, everything in this game for items is based off Norse mythology. You got runes, you got a lot of characters like Brigid, you got... you can tell this is fully Norse flavored. All moves are based off what the characters would probably do. And a mix between what the character knows, like Rory, and what the actual, Norse hero would do. So that's kind of why. And a lot of characters are tied with what their, Norse counterpart would be. Scotty's a good hunter, if I remember correctly. You got Ur's the main healer, basically, but for a reason. Rory has the wind. Wind helps in golfing. If you get a good wind, you can control your ball a lot easier and get distance as you need it. I mean, even Frank has, like I said, he's a natural leader. But everyone had, if you really look at the connections, it was there. Plus, I got to use one of my freaking English classes I haven't used since high school. I took Myth and Lit for a whole year, dang it. I'm gonna freaking use it. I am gonna use it. Thank you, Miss Nassus. I actually used it for something. You're welcome. I don't mean that bad way. She was actually pretty good. She's a pretty good teacher. In fact, the whole English department is pretty good at my high school when I was there. I do miss those days in a way. And in some ways I don't. But there's a few things I don't about that, but that's not for this. Now I'll tell you why this demo failed. This house right here is a full explanation. This room is supposed to be big. It's where Tatiana usually practices her dance and the others. When Tatiana was young, she'd be dancing in here with her mom and grandmother watching, or having help from her mom. Grandmother's room, little sister's room, parents' room. Yeah, she was supposed to have a sister, but doesn't appear in this episode and probably won't be appearing unless, you know. And here's why the game failed. I had beta testers. I also beta tested this. How did we all miss this? Oh yeah, I know why, because I spent so long making it. Going out. And yeah, she calls her mother test face as a joke. Because at one point I just had test face just to test it. I never put a thing. And D-Mom said, I thought she called her mother test face. Oh, by the way, here's a chase scene that I need a few girls made, so I use a resource pack for it. And here's Trojan's main way of doing damage. Changes his DNA into something else and confuses everyone. Oh look, it's a high school teacher. Cast spell. It's the frog. Her code got changed. I guess she got a virus, and now she croaked. Oh, and yeah, I had to use something basic for Surcam because I didn't have one. Man, I never had time to replace it. And here's Battle. The battle theme I did like. You see the moves I put? I put one status effect, basically, except for one. But most of them affect, like, you have one that affects either an enemy or an ally, and a damaging attack. Earth's the only one that doesn't yet. Oh, by the way, yes, you're supposed to use timed hits. When I found this plugin, I didn't realize something. I will explain why. Now, as to re-release this game, I probably had to change this whole system because one, this thing was outdated when I used it, and two, I'll show you why in a little bit. And yes, whenever you use a spell, there's a little electronic OK as if you're scanning it through the card and the reader accepted it. You may see a little box at the bottom of the screen, but it's cut off by the little thing at the bottom. There's a better animation I'll show you later. You can see the basics like full of Eric's fire base and other things. Scotty, Pokemon Go. Is healing. You may know some people are a little jumpier. And by the way, here's the problem. I'll explain why later. But you may know some characters are jumpy. I had to fix most of these sprites when I got them from Fiverr because they weren't even. And this is last day, 0 hours basically. We're running out of freaking time if I don't get this export soon. Characters are doing all this random stuff, so I'm sitting there fixing the sprites, getting in the first position, because that's the one thing I can do is in position. And, well, came out as best as I could. Where you're supposed to go is that little V in the map screen. You can see where you are compared to where they are. I didn't get to explain it. That's one of the screens I forgot to explain. Go me! So yeah, when you got to this map, you were just running around fighting enemies. You don't know why. I don't know if the line about scripts came through okay, because if you think about it, a script attack, you know, the base, like, you know, script, like JavaScript and whatever. Yeah, again, another reference to code. Have you noticed? Norse coding and a Power Ranger base, like, thing. But yeah, to explain what happened, what the whole fighting there. You notice how Titanium just had those 4 symbols above her head? Same thing with our swimmer here, Fred. but they're already in their Viking forms. It's kind of like Sailor Moon in a way. You got Usagi walking around, but yet at the same time, you know, stuff like that. Oh, that's one I just noticed. Diana's name gets cut off. Interesting. I never allocated them, so I'm gonna allocate their stats. Some random dude made a random, well, you know, timed hit mechanic. No, that is his username. It is in there. You saw it. I put it in the credits. What I didn't know at the time is that it was appreciated, and it shouldn't be used. Part of the reason why is whenever battle starts, it needs time to load those 4 symbols, and it never loads for the first character that uses it. That's why Fred and Tatiana never get their first attack well. Also, I just noticed with Scotty, her thing doesn't appear in the back, which makes it a little hard to understand, because it's like Pokemon Go, smaller the circle, the better. So you know, I put an explanation, it could have been better. The ones that work well, I know he's some kind of easy, because the other thing is, one of the devs was actually, one of the beta testers was having a lot of trouble with it, so I tuned it down. I think I tuned it down a little too much. So besides it being unwieldy to use and people not knowing how to use it well, even with the help screen and me showing them and explaining, it still didn't work. So this was become a full game. That mechanic could probably be scrapped or replaced. This one went well because I told them you can build your character any way you want. This is like Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne. You put skills in your stats and you get points. So it's the same basic, you know. If you understand that, or any game where you can build your character by allocating points, you understand this. I'm going for a more attack-based build to speed through. Because, like I said, combat came at the end. And I'll explain why later, because oh, it was a ride. Get that up. Part of it was that mini-map. That map took a little bit to make, because I didn't know how to make one, and there's a few things, there was a whole code to do. But getting that to work just right was a major factor. There's also the fact that I'm trying to write this as if it was a Power Rangers episode. This game was written basically, it's got 10 parts to it. Each chapter is 10 parts. You have your opening segment, and then you'd go to the idiots, where they decide. I mean, you can tell there's a little bit of, you know, Rita Pulsive Minion in there. You got Lord Zed, you got Finster making the monster. It was kind of like that. And yes, you can still hit the buttons even if you can't see them. So it was really one of those, like, you know, very basic Power Rangers episodes. Like, this is basically them fighting the putties at the moment. I did do Sailor Moon Step basically for this one because at the time I was beating this with less than 20 minutes without the fights. When I was at my peak during testing, I was running this in 40. I probably had some cheat codes on or something, because I was just blazing, or I had a good setup. Unfortunately, if you get a Shank setup, it's going to run you a lot longer. My beta testers were running it about an hour to an hour 20, I think it was. If I remember correctly. But I don't know how many buildings or things they went through. I don't even know how many I went through, to be honest. You can see how this thing isn't really perfect. Besides designing the town, because I had to think in advance, how do I want the town if this goes to full? How am I going to set up the episodes? Glass Shade's in 4 parts, by the way. We only get to see 1/4 of it. That's how small the area is in this. And by the way, I remember the first game I made, someone complained that the building seemed too small. So I made them bigger. I made them about actual size. Apparently people don't like that either. So instead of doing the Pokemon thing and having it small, or like Sailor Moon or something, where it seems smaller, for some buildings, I went and did the opposite and made it actual length. So if you're that random person that commented, congrats! This is your doing. And after this, the two that I worked that helped me develop this, D-Bomb, which I am a mod for, and that lady, both decided, yeah, let's talk about just not do this one again. On the size of buildings. I forgot to heal poison, which for some odd reason doesn't show. You can tell that this game was made in a month. Because it was. So yeah, for some reason, statuses don't show on this menu. It's something I'd fix if I had the full version. The trick with these guys, their element is shown in their back hand. If they don't have an element, they're neutral. If they have ice, they're an ice type. And I was probably gonna add an enemy glossary with all those cards you saw. Like, these guys will poison you. How do you know that? Look at the violent poison in their backhand. A clear indicator, because that's another thing. People are like, how do I know their weakness? How do I know what they do? You can tell I kind of dumbed this one down a little bit too, because we were running out of time. But now to go back and explain how this thing's backed up. Like I said, 4 parts. Plus, I need to plan out where all the extra sections are going to be. Like Jason living in his place, which I think was going to be a small house. Or he would be basically in a very poor-person house. Like, it would be fitting. Like, Tatiana has a good house, because, you know, she married a doctor. Her mother married a doctor. Which in the story was going to be mentioning that her mother got hurt at the time of a career as a dancer. That treated her leg is the one she married and is now her husband. Ta-da! Oh, by the way, Land W, house of the famous 12-set of Nugs meal. If you know, well, that's fine. You might know the joke on that. SATA, serial ATA? Yes, it's another joke. I at one point I was adding a person that was try to taste your test face beta meal. Has one of the meal options as a joke to this one. I think I might be playing a prior version, by the way. Oh, by the way, this is the chapter number switching now. Roadblock a little. I see. Let me help. Give me a smart one will help write speeches. Oh, come on, just tell them to be cute little fairies and smile. Hi, you. Ballet is more than that. It's expression. So is my swing, however you see where that got me. I'll help. Me too. You just want to iron her dress. I do not. Your mouth says no, but those eyes are staring one gaping hole into her dress. Asgard needs you. Come right away. Freyja, or Frigg, however you want to call her in this one, is supposed to... It's the same name, it's just that one sounds like a swear, okay? I use the Old Norse terminology, like real old. I was looking at sites trying to remember stuff, and that's one of them. But yeah. Basically, that's like Zordon contacting the Rangers, we need you immediately. So that's her trick. You can tell that Tatiana's struggling with a teenage problem, asking for help. Frankie is eyeing her. Part of their relationship develops throughout this. I'm not gonna lie on that. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. At this point, he has had a crush on her and has been thinking of her. It's part of the whole thing. There is the whole thing behind it. So you can tell throughout this episode, Frankie's getting, like, I think I might have my shot. I'm thinking about it. I know it's early in the story, but you're going to see how it's going to affect. You would have seen how it affected it. And again, Odin, put it together, folks. I'm not hiding it. I'm putting the jokes together. They are there. So yeah, writing a story and playing it out, that took a little bit. Like, I had the whole school planned out, basically, and other things I had to cut out. The story took a little bit of time to get, well, fixed because of things happening, because we're 3 people all living lives and doing things while doing this. Also during this is when I had a problem where I had to go to where I had to do some outside business. If you guys remember, do the things, I had to go and do some work at a food bank for a little bit. And no, it's not because I did something bad, it's actually some form or something. They had to do something to make sure I have, so it's one of those things I had to do to make sure I got it, otherwise the channel probably wouldn't have a problem, or I would have had to do something else. Like I said, it wasn't anything, bad. The Capcom I used to use for that had to close, but the guy that owns it is actually rebranded it and still doing stuff. Pretty good guy. Pretty nice guy too. Here, I think he got recently a new van too, which makes it even better. So yeah, I'm stuck doing, let's see, I'm up at 8, so 9, 10, so 4 hours. I'm tired after doing heavy lifting and stuff. I come home, and after a small nap, I sat down and worked on this until night. Writing out the stuff, trying to make sure that the story's in, trying to make sure transitions work, and that's the easy part. Also making sure that map works and looks right. Making sure the streets look right. Making sure everything's the story look right. You're about to see where everything goes freaking wrong. Because trust me, things are about to go wrong. And to give you an idea on how many things are involved with what I wrote, it's not just what we're seeing here. Like, I had to write a description for everybody. I made every single card. I had to plan the stats out. I mean, I'm like, I'm writing all this stuff. I'm working the game, trying to figure this out. I'm trying to make the icons. I'm trying to do this. I'm trying to do that. And I'm going to run into more problems down the line. Like that little thing that pops up and says OK at the bottom of the screen. I had to custom make that. And figure that out. In RPG Maker. That's part of the other reason why. All these animations I had to make myself from what I had, because I couldn't make any in time. Now they use the effects seeker, I'm learning that, I'm learning Blender. It's its own pain in the ass. Aha! Yeah. Ahaha! So if you're wondering why I'm a little sore at that, we can see up at the right, we used the charge turn battle. You can see where everybody is. I think if you use Rory's Tailwind, it changes it. I know you can only use 6 Vikings at a time. That's kind of a limitation that put in, otherwise things get a little crazier. You guys trust me, it's gonna go up to 8 characters. Or would've. But yeah. So, making sure everything worked, getting everything in the game, getting all the maps in. Making sure everything looks right. Doing the town, making all the cards, trying to figure that out. Banging my head on the desk while doing that, while trying to, Only it's gonna get worse. Because this was only the first 2 weeks. And I'm sitting there waiting on everything, like, you know, finalized with the script and everything. Because we're all busy people. I mean, D-Bomb does work. He actually does things outside, Switch and everything. So he'd come home, he'd be tired. I'd be asking, where's this and this and this? It's like, oh, I haven't started yet. Like, okay, I get it. Yeah, that's fine. It's 2 or 3 weeks in and he still hasn't finished everything. And I'm here sitting here with all this. Yeah. Because I wanted him to no, it was 2 weeks actually. 2 weeks, yeah. Took 2 weeks for him to look at the script because he was looking at short bursts. Understandable, we all work. That's why I was working on other parts. But now I have all this stuff done. I need his stuff so I can get to the artist, so I can get the artist informed, because we're trying to improve the looks, we're trying to improve everything, you know? It's a 3-person project. I want to lay down and make sure everything is right. And by right, I mean it. Oh, by the way, you're about to go into hell. This is where everything breaks. Ready for the fun stuff? This is where this turkey turns into a full cluster mess. Like, this is where you dip the turkey in the oil and just boom! This girl wouldn't appear in the actual main game. She'd be basically behind the desk doing things. She's like the Ernie of the show. And yes, she is making a joke because 125 doesn't exist. And by the way, this is actually a joke. This is actually a reference to a later episode. Rory would actually do that. Oh, and by the way, all this is broken. Ultra Pack 11? Nope, can't do it. You know I have coin. Super? Nope, can't do that. It's broken. No, that's broken. This works. Vikoin works. It's the only one that does. And notice the points are all wrong. Because at this point, this system took me half a week. Half a week to implement. And when I finally thought I got it, I still broke it. This is one of the things that if I did win, I would fix. You say I have 4 coins left, but even though I have 3 of the best coins, can't use them. Nope, 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 it's broken. Vikoin works. Viking Ultra Coin doesn't work. Viking S Coin doesn't work. I don't even know if they drop. It's been 5 years since I looked at this, okay? But yeah, you can see that we do get some cards. You can get coins as long as we have Vikoins. Later, another machine, which you know they're all tied together, doesn't work. Like, it just explodes. So yeah, that exploded. All the girls, you know I thought I put lines? Nope, they don't have any lines. I thought I did. They don't say anything. This door works. I'll explain why later. This door, reference. You feel great. Do you think this is Persona 3 or something? Get the joke from Persona 3, go in the bathroom, you can get great status. Oh look, I can still save here. Telling you I'm supposed to save in the building. Watch this. Girls room, boys to the left. I didn't fix this cutscene. So an Easter egg broke on me. This is one of the last things I put in while I was waiting for D-Bomb. I was putting references to everything, so I just reboot it. Like I said, we're having turkey with this, alright? This is a turkey. In fact, this is a turducken of a turkey. Oh, by the way, ATM's broken. Like I said, they don't say anything, even though I made that card table specific. I actually made it to look like they were playing the card game, because the card game, you know, it'd be... If you notice the beginning, all the cards looked like actual playing cards. It's part of the charm of it. This was going to lead to escape route in episode 51, you'd use it. I was running the garden outside when a little hopper came over. What garden? Broke. Titania, your ballet teacher just croaked. What? I know it's against code to say. It was them. I am bound to car law, but it's already happened. Are the kids okay? Yes, they're in the arcade upstairs, as if you didn't realize. What? They should be doing homework. Aren't their lives a bit more important than schoolwork? Says the student council member. You take that back right now. Yeah, count the student council. Scripps, it's time. We need to go. Get your cards. Alright. Not you. But why? Principal Young had you doing service for his car. You think he's gonna be happy you just bail on that with no considerable... Does the birthday? No, it's not. It's not for 2 months, and the principal knows it. Again, Dean's thing. Major saying, honor my duty or your cards aren't going to honor you. I allow him to use the prismatic highway because, well, I wanted to do the full animation. I did that with a vote, by the way. That horn is me with a voter registration document. You do not want to know the price. You do not want to know how much it costs to make one of to buy one of those. You can see you see the card box, you can see the cards go up. My voice, by the way, thank you very much. This took me a while. You see how it looks like a CD-ROM, basically, being read? You see that they're running through... If you've seen the transformation in Aikatsu, this is what it's based off of. This is their transformation. This is their henshin sequence. I wanted to do parts, but I didn't have enough time. You see how this took a while to make. Everybody was running all over, it was unbalanced, and then they run down onto a set. Like I said, I didn't do the animations of Viking. Well, I didn't do the dress up for the Vikings. Someone else did. There is an Easter egg. I know you have to click on a bunch of this a bunch of times. Who's this one in the bunch? Maybe. No, it's not this one. Is it? This one. Yep, there it is. Secret location. An Easter egg for you in the demo. I do like to sneak a room in for for these now. Girl dancing, wait that third transformation. Listen chest. That girl turned part of her costume into a boomerang. Whoa! Yes, that's a Sailor Moon reference, various books, which would be like, you know. Yeah, Fish, Myth, or Hunters, that's not gonna happen. It's empty, it's off, because we're done in this location. Leftover snacks, it's like packing, yeah, we're moving out. I'm sitting through the couch. Research material, DVD, books, and all. This TV has a little thing. It's Mega Ranger. The pink one is really eating right now. It's Miku's episode with the Diet Crepe episode where she just can't stop eating. That's the reference. This way it gets better. Yes, I have my character sitting there singing the Mega Ranger theme. Thank you! I'm not gonna do that right now because I've already done my classics for this year. Oh, you surprised me. I was just finishing up here. I think I watched too much Sentai. First the Zoo Ranger theme, now the Mega Ranger theme. Hey, this is the first year I need to update my sprite. Well, you probably need a new one now. My hair's not that bright. But yeah, secret room where you can actually visit me and actually see up behind the scenes a little bit. And for some reason, yep, I didn't finish fixing that. They all appear in their thing, but you can get here. You can see where things now fall apart. I did so much beta testing that things broke in the end. Because by the time I got the art and put it in, I made a whole bunch more errors. Because as soon as I got the script back and everything looked good, and everyone gave me okay, we need to find artists. D-Bomb recommended the one that did the art. That came out well. I mean, I love how they look. I will admit, it wasn't what I was expecting. I was more expecting like, you know, the traditional Sentai, but this is what came out. Again, low communication, low time. There's only one thing. He only did those. Then again, that's all he can do. He's not a sprite. From what I know, he's not a sprite artist. But he made those. They came out better than I thought, though. Like, he mixed the Viking and their traits well. So that actually came out. I love it. Would I redo them? Probably, I want to say. Only because, well... I don't know if he's still making the art or if we're gonna if we would upgrade or not, but it'd be left to, you know, big group decision. Do we change the sprites or not, or do we just get an update? But at the time, I loved it. They did come out well, and I did appreciate it, and I did thank the guy well. At least I hope I did. I know I at least messaged him. I think we gave him a bonus a little bit. I'm not sure. I can't remember. We're talking 6 years, people! No, 4 years. 4 years. I can't even math right! Oh yeah! This game came out about 4 years ago! How much more fun to show it off? Yeah, I'm tired. I'm drinking coffee. I gotta cook later. Of course I'm gonna be a little cranky. But yeah, this... I know there's a lot of battles. Like I said, I wanted you to earn a lot of Vicoins because you don't have a lot of time. And by the way, Dean uses a wheel. Dean's ability is slightly broken if you know how to use it. And by the way, Dean is probably best to have do magic. That wheel thing does not work like it's really short. That's the other reason why I dumped the critical hits. Doing a glitch, it being depreciated, him saying not to use it, and that wheel, yeah, it's the first thing that's gonna go. It will be the first thing to go. If I knew it was depreciated, I would kick myself back then and said, don't do it. But I wanted to make you feel like you were taking control of Viking and being in the game. I am just looking through my stuff, seeing if I do have the old document on it. I might not. Oh wait, I think I know why. I think it's all on my Google. I use Google a lot for this project only because it's what the others... It was easy for me to get it. I didn't have to ask people. And everything was in there, so I just opened up Google and just went. Also, I was a little bit behind because I think my computer was in repair at one point during this, which also didn't help. Let's see. Ah, here it is. Yep, I still have it. I had listed. Let's see. Lance, D-Bomb proofread. Story. We need to tell story. Me. Plugins. Plugins to ensure the game runs as it should, which it didn't. Yay me. Maps. Where are you going? Minimum 23 by 13, because I wanted to make sure that we had it on screen. Cards. You need more than dummy cards. That didn't happen, because I'm an idiot. Battle. Yeah, that went well. I'll explain why. Me! Attacks! You need to come up with attack animation. Fits it below. Blank and blank. Art. Character sprites, background, battle sprites, animation, etc. We did not have enough to do half of that. Or the time. DLC and someone. Music. Nordic Flair preferred. Catchy theme tune, please. The theme tune was indeed catchy. So catchy it caught a copyright. Optionals. Video. Transformations. Opening and maybe credit video. I was waiting for D-Mom so long I made the henshin, so I did the transformation thing. Voice acting. Yeah, I'm the only voice in the game. Congrats. Again, doing other stuff while I was waiting for D-Bomb. I'm not shanking on him. He's very good at proofreading. He's fixed a lot of my stuff. He's done a lot of writing. So he knows what he's doing. It's just that he gets busy, I get busy. That leaves working Gillette at the time, so we're all busy. Costume ideas. Nordic Flare. Has card slot for the 4 cards on gloves, boots, torso, and helmet. Saber weapons. If used, if not, double glove and boot. God as well as possibly hobby or skill should be involved in design. Civilian should be color-coded, of course. Outfit. Normal outfit, club special outfit, maybe 2 if episode needs. Club outfit for Titania is her dance costume. Frankie would have a martial arts garb. You got Diana would have her stuff for archery. You can see it on her Viking. Calvin would have his. Well, Calvin would have his. Like it fits the character. Again, character motif. Example: her civilian form or club should have a pink Leo and etc. Her ballet costume should be a blend of Valkyrie and a ballet costume. Normal outfit should be a skirt, dress, something girly, or a school uniform. She has a dress on. Logo is up to whoever, me. She has one on a background and also a transparent logo for dual use. Again, me. Also a text box variant that doesn't cause a problem with the graphics using the placeholder. Yeah. Which, you do not want to see the placeholder. It was ugly. This one was better. Town location I didn't have a written document. That came at the end. Headquarters, Asgard. Asgard Game Center. Mentor, Frigg. Norse god that has foreknowledge. Again, she can't use her foreknowledge. It's against card law. Assistant. Do we need someone helping? Didn't have it. Villains. Loki, L-O-K-I. Legendary official code interceptors. Oh, that makes sense, right? Loki, code. You see where this is going. Villain leader, Chief Officer Malware. Malware, you see? The Vikings. We have Viking Red, Bulwark, which is Frankie John, martial art. There is a note that I'm not going to read. For those of you who know what that is, I'm not going to tell you. For those that know, no. For those that don't know, look up Odin. Look up Bulwark. I just gave you the big hint. Valkyrie Orange, Scotty, Diane Whistler, her note for characters archery. Calvin is the class rep, Thor. Rory Lango, Njord, Golf. Wind being the theme here. Did the name wrong? Sorry. Ager, Swim Team, Fred. Ager, facing water, you can see why. Here is Titania, ballet. I replaced her pink out of indigo because indigo is kind of you know, plus purple and plus token pink character. Viking purple, Cavassier, Dean. Dean's an honor student. There's one other character. And this character's gonna get you. Viking Crystal. A prism is a crystal. He would have been Balder, and he would have been Dancing Fog. I don't have a note for character. I don't have a note for him. I don't have anything other than that because, well, that was later. Basically, I am going to the document to go. I had different cards. I have the item cards, which is very common. Your common stat card, your uncommon stat card, your rare, and your very rare. And then you had the skill cards for non-eradication, which they're using. You see a lot of. The eradication skill is a special one, which you only get one per which you only get one each. Titania will get hers later on. And a very special crystal card for max level item upgrade. What was that gonna do? Don't know yet. Never got that far. And like I said, I have a full list. Freyr, Giftjon, Bragi, Sin, Not, Luina, Logi, Ymir, Dagger. Like, you can see, I even have Yggdrasil, the tree itself, Sleipnir, which is also known as Fenrir, if I remember correctly. It's all here. Even in Esra's Midgard, Niflheim, Asgard. You see the jokes here, people. The cards were... everything was based off this. I went hard with Norse on this one. I do have the special list. I do have the... like, I have a whole lot. I have... like I said, I had very special setup here. Now the eradications do not get used on the scripts, but if you ever somehow manage to get 100 TP, you could use them. They are basically almost nukes. But you wouldn't use them really. You can tell how all the skills would work. Like the Ice Wall is a defense boost for Scotty. Aegir Submerge, agility knockout. Majora's Headwind would have been a boost. You got the defense boost from Scotty, you got Kvasir's Mead, which is a magic boost, which you'll see later. Bolveric in physical boosts anybody's attack, which does help, especially if you have, like, say... like, here's one of my favorite setups. Alright? On Calvin, because his is working, stack with as much physical attack as you can. Frankie boosts him turn 1, and then boom! Everything just hurts. Like, that's the kind of stuff I was thinking on. Oh, and by the way, just to get here's the price out, alright? This is where all the money went. Why, there's not much on there? The characters, there's 5 apiece. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 characters. $125 at 5 apiece. Yeah, it was a batch order. So someone got a good Christmas out of that. And like I said, he did good. He did good. And I had like notes on everybody's characters. And there's a whole lot of other notes. Like this was just, you know, fill in. The Spriter! I don't have the total cost on that, but yeah. It got so bad when I got these back that I had very little time. The first person I asked basically gave me a no, and I don't blame them. Because it took so long. Like really, so long. It was bad. I do not blame the person that I asked first for saying no, because like I said, it was a short update. And apparently they were a little slogged. And I gave them, we had about, I think it was 200 I think we had total. So we were running out of money. Or it was 400. Either way, we were running out of cash. Like I used up all the cash we had and offered it to them, and they said no, and I don't blame them. To make it art, you do need to have a good amount of, you know, you should be paid for it in time. That's why I hate asking for help on these when I don't have money. But let me explain. Here's how the updates happen. 11.1 has message, card and ballot component mostly complete. Yeah, right. Point where story and art, etc. can be brought in. Still needs music and animations before battle system is complete. This was 1.1. 11.1. 11-2, basic story. Need some more names and see if direction is good. Also proofreading. 11-12, 2018, fizzing garland magic worked, which means that we were done. 11-16, I finished the alpha prototype. Game works, runs, all 10 scenes are in, added a few tweaks, new art, music, and the battles, and re-beta time. 11-21, foes came in, converted to face, battle and others as needed, sprites still missing. 11-24, exactly 4 years ago. The basic battle. Battles being set up to us, you know about timed hits, where I made my biggest misstep. Setting skills and character cards in beta. So 11-24. 11-24. That's when this actually got final variant. And I know I've been just dumping on this at the moment because this is what's happened basically. Is that because of the battle system being so late, it got really cooked. Now, I'm gonna do one thing. When was the first update to this? And I put all the cards on the thing. Yeah, December 7th was the launch. I even made the actual thing then. You know, the trailer that's on the channel. Yeah, here's the thing that happened during this too. I also got sick. I had a computer failure. This is where my hard drive had to be replaced completely, by the way. So, I was already facing other things. Yeah, the part was due from the start, because right when it started, right when the competition started, my computer failed. From an update, I had to send it back, both hard drives got replaced, so I started off behind. That's why I also went Google. And it was really, you know. Oh, by the way, this is the thing. 45 minutes, 9 seconds before the deadline. 45 minutes and 9 seconds, I finished this off. That's how bad the battle system worked on me. I said there was things that I didn't get to. There was one comment I read. Well, let's see. I'll explain after this scene. Whoa, what happened here? I think we need to go deeper. Yeah, I don't feel so good about this. I don't feel so good either. It feels twisted. Let's go. We can't wait. I can tell a lot of love went into this. By the way, it's Maiko Kuta that did. He also submitted a game that year, or she, I don't know. I don't know the gender, it doesn't say. This quirky made me laugh a lot, which is good. Sally couldn't make it to the end because the account says what set way too high and the maps were huge. And the battle was not very compelling, sometimes glitched. Again, Friend Titania's problem. I do admit that. Battles went much faster when I pumped all my points to attack. I do show that by Astro Magic. I turned the game off on a Switch puzzle where unavoidable combat was a penalty for mistake. I'll read that in a sec too. It said that the card component of this was either cut or not really a card component. It's one of those that wasn't fully finished. I'm going to guess that I was pretty new to RPG Maker. There's a lot of mistakes like huge houses and unchecked possibilities. Again, like I said, I'm going to look at another. That my first game did the same thing, and yes, I am buying this. This card machine is actually next. I'm replying, I still stand by. I'm aware of the counter rate being extra high. This is due to counter something the game was doing in the last couple hours. I'm adjusting it for version 1.2, which never came out, as well as all the other glitches and stuff that I can fix as listening to the log video I'm working on. As a friend, Titania's attack button's not appearing. I'm aware of it, and it's a problem with the plugin and RPG Maker, and could happen to a couple others, but they are most likely ones, and usually only happens in the first turn. The plugin maker did discontinue it, writing a new one. I was to find a better one, the team likes it more, then we'll switch to it, or I'm just gonna cut it at this point. Funny thing, one of the testers did the opposite. Letting Kavas here do so much magic damage, and I was able to agile and power the game with Titania. The result of the card system we are still working on revamping and fixing and tinkering with as still in concept. If we get a full version, we'll be finessing more. As with Switch Puzzle, I can tell you the information was provided in room and in the bio for Aesir. Those any knowledge of Norse mythology could help with. I did make the puzzle at the end because I need to put at least a little something. The huge problem was a counter to the first game made where the houses were too small according to the comments I got. Plus, Titania is supposed to have a large house for 5 people, and having a father as a doctor, so I decided I logged in again to 1.1. I didn't get all the assets in that I wanted to, so it seems larger than it would have been. Trust me, there's a lot of assets I want to put in. And yeah, there's a lot of other things I just noticed later on. Think of what. And yes, they're mentioning that the ballet studio became the opposite of ballet, which is beauty and expression, and you know what that is, sleazeball. I might change this a little bit up, but like I said, I'm trying to do, opposites. But you're realizing that ears learning to, counter. I'm trying to remember the... I remember the first, where I put the first game in the name of it at the moment. I'm actually that tired. Okay. I'm not trying to avoid you. Okay, got it. It's our... Well, no, I didn't want that. I just wanted to shoot the thing. I think it was in one of the... I can't find the original one, but yeah. The first game I made, someone actually critiqued that the houses were too small, or, I can't remember where it is, but it's probably I read years ago and just burned me. Because holy shoot, they ripped that game apart. If you don't remember the first game, I do that on the channel. But yeah, they complained that the houses were too small, didn't, you know. So where do you go from too small? Too big. So I go from, you know. So yeah, I might actually end up, you know, if this does get remade. Crunch. I'm trying to find other, you know. Oh, I think I know why. I think the site that had it shut down. That was on that, or it's in a forum somewhere and the topic's locked and buried. But yeah, because of the comments on that one where it said the house was too small, this happened, that happened, and all other things. Second game didn't have any houses, so I didn't really. Third game didn't even get tested because the day I uploaded was last minute. I forgot to fix something, so things are missing. This is actually a layer puzzle, by the way. And the best part, they compared the end of the game to Trolls 2, well, Gremlins 2 or whatever, Troll 2. You know, the scene, woman gets turned into food for them. Oh my god, whatever. Yeah. It's a shame, too, because the third game I made actually referenced that, well, goes into what happened after that happened. As me, suppose I was still working on the first game, which is still kind of not done, because I don't have time to work on it. And here's a Switch puzzle he mentioned. I'll explain this, and yes, I am actually running from battles. How many dollars does Adria have? Get it wrong and you'll be sorry. I can tell you, green is none, blue is 3, red is 9, yellow is 6. If I made this game, you'd be seeing the numbers above the things, or I'd actually have numbers. And by the way, look, the answer is in Fred's Viking bio. Oh, Fred's Viking bio. I have that. That's not Fred's, but you can see bio. Bolvaric's the only one that doesn't have info. But if you look, come on, come on, come on, keep going. Not him. It's Fred, you dummy. That's Rory. Oh yeah, look, 9 daughters. So I even did the wrong name. Good going, me. Wrong name. No, and for that he steps on the worst one. But yes, the answer was 9. But there's a lot of things I want to go fix on this. 9 daughters. Again, mythology. I even said that it was... I was happy when I first finished this. I could make 1.1 and 1.2. And it just got worse and worse. I do have a plan for the rest of them. I think I dumped it somewhere, but... Oof. You can tell. Things went wrong. Things went wrong. As I look at this, it's just, you can tell where everything went. The combat didn't have time to finish. I really did it. Things that should have worked didn't. Like I said, I fought everything to get this game out, and look how it happened. Heart, soul, but no. Like Jackie Gleason. This is why I did the in the picture earlier. I started off well. Had this great idea. Everyone was like, yeah, this is great, yeah, this is great. Everyone, come look at this. Look how good this is. And then... Execution just broke. Like I said, this thing got discontinued. It's actually not writing a new one. It's dead. So I had to fix the system anyway because I wanted to make combat a little interesting. It turns out that it needs to be really fixed. Because everything but... And by the way, the cards I made actually before was not one of my best works on game. Since that time, I've actually redone the end card, the channel, the LTEC screens, Mika Toys logo, and everything. By the way, here's what I actually get right. 9. You gotta hit the red switch right below you. The answer's 9! And someone gets an upskirt of... or at least try to. The thing about that is, it's not actually a camera. It's just a flash. Surcam is one of those that knows that you can't. And yes, someone did a prank a few days ago and got, you know. Hers only 17. That's not actual. And yes, for what the swim team, for what Rory did 3 days ago to someone's swim team, he's gonna help clean the pool. So you can see, we go from light to dark in a hurry in these dimensions. There's that little scene where they crossed over. I know I was looking at other stuff, reading stuff. You're crossing that void into darkness. Into darkness. So yeah. We're in Malware's world right now. And he can rewrite any code he wants at any time. Yeah, I gotta actually do some extra fixing if I'm gonna get this redone. Like I said, very good turkey, huh? My own. Like I said, the reason why I'm playing this mostly is because of the little powering. You can see that there was heart, soul, and a little bit of corny jokes from back then. I do really want to make this one thing, but at the same time, how bad this bombed? Ugh, it hurts. It's never not gonna hurt. And I don't even know if I have the file that I did at the start of the actual thing. You got to rewrite that too. I had like 52 chapters, like 52 episodes, full season. I mean, to fight a whole fever, getting sick, getting stuck in doing actual community service for a document, having a computer fail, and come out with this. Can't say I didn't try. It's not terrible, but it's just one of those, you know, you look at it, and you look at it now, it's like, you really did bad on it. At the same time, and yes, that's the actual, the reason why Surcam says that line is because that's what the email for Surcam would do, the Surcam virus. So that's why there's a lot of references to that. And yeah, I think I nuked it. That or I lost it. But I don't have it anymore. I thought I did. Huh. Maybe I have it in Google Docs. Let me look at that. I'm sorry if I'm a little spaced out. I'm actually trying to, you know, give you guys the full behind the scenes on this. Okay. And that just... I've had shut off. But yeah, you can see you're supposed to go over, grab the document that actually wasn't what you thought it was just an application for Loki Entertainment for when Tatiana turned 18. Which, by the way, she's 17. She's almost there. Remember I'm going to be in the adult class next year? Yeah. Again, warping it. Speaking of warped futures and not nasty things. Yep. And yes, code replaced with a bed. And that infuriates Ear. And because Ear is now fully stressed out, she gets her eradication card. And she can now rescue her mother and save the adult class, but we're not going to use it. We're going to use something better. But yeah, you can tell where this was going. It's a little bit of adult, but not too far where it'd be, you know, crossing the line. There's a save point, and by the way, all save points don't work for some reason. Again, the save thing is messed up. Oh, it's so freaking long. Yep, I have it. I actually have it here, and yes, I am buying stuff. You can see that the 1000 card actually worked, by the way. Is this just the base? Yeah, this is just the base. Okay, this is the script that T-Bomb gave me. Alright, nope. Well, I guess I don't have it anymore. Yeah, I had 51 episodes all written. And here's the boss. Again, he says, I see this file in order to have your advice. It's the same for Sircam. I'll send you my hammer or shut you up. Yeah. And yeah, Valkyrie Pink just lets out a whole thing explaining her speech, which is gonna, you know, and because Dean's a smart one, he's writing speech, he's actually writing it down. And Sircam's cool. And, yep. Earth's starting to get feelings. And we're gonna attack. Again, another one that shows we're serious. And so begins the boss battle. We start to go and rip and tear. I am actually looking through my drive for that file. Now you probably have noticed that someone is actually broken as all you know. Yeah, I think I nuked it. I nuked the list. So I have to redo it anyway. Yeah, I had 52 episodes listed, and each character had their things. Then there was the whole... There was going to be a Zora I was going to put in later on, like, you know, you got to have the combining mech thing. Having the 8th one in and everything. Unfortunately, some dummy are dumb. Yep. Me! By the way, if you do really want to see these come to light, part of the Patreon in the description, or if you want to find a way to send donation money now eventually, either you look at the thing below, Patreon, or you know, you can do the email, business email, and we can figure out something. So yeah, there is that. What do you want? Oh, and by the way, when you defeat the boss, that took a good while to make. Figuring out how to make it spin. So yeah, that also took a while to make. We went through 3 redesigns. We did it. Good work. Hey, good news, the dungeon is being eradicated and all that. We're calling now, and the kids are all fine. Ta-da, we're out. You see, all good. And yeah, anger. And yeah, doesn't need that, and find the end. And they all scream critical error because that's what computers do. And yes, they do help out. And Miss Buckland's back normal. Ed, hang out. What are we doing here? Oh no, I think you brought the kids over for a treat. Well, girls need their energy. Third one never came over. Indeed. Oh no, I missed my adult class. They were fine. I just checked up on them. Mom is watching them as we speak. Okay then, as long as someone is. Also, I think I'm ready for tomorrow. Wonderful. Also, my little Clara, we need a prince. I got just the guy. Oh? Trust me. That might be rewritten to the next... Oh yeah, next day, yeah. The speech, not the performance. The performance is supposed to happen around December in the game. And yep, she's just doing her speech again. Good work. Thanks. How long did the speech take to write? Not long. Guys? Want to peep? We gotta play we need boys for. Caught by the girls and they all run. Except for one. Not going to run. My dance partner is giving a lecture. Also, Jilly helps out with martial arts. She also has my keys. Reagan can drive. And that's supposed to be the joke at the end. There's stuff I do want to fit, like I said. And this is a test map. I just did that at the end of the day. We wanted to try things out, redo. And to give you more time. And yeah, when I say I've done goofed, that's me saying I've done goofed. Card pack, which again I thought worked completely right, but didn't, because I'm an idiot. And yeah. So that's the whole thing. I can't really say much on how to actually beat it because each playthrough is going to have its own set of cards and everything to randomize. I'm gonna go and do something else in the stress until time to, you know, cook. Hope you guys have a happy Thanksgiving or whatever, and I'll see you. Hope you have fun. I'll see you on the next one. And by the way, here's Chloe. Yeah, that's proof that she's in here. The channel mascot's right here. Everyone say hi, and I'll see you later.